remember, we need posture and guard. So let's just check real quick my posture, and you do some sit-ups real quick. Good. 4 more. 5. All right. So you see, I was being mobile with my base. And as you came forward more, I had to bring my hips forward a little bit more and up to do that, right? So boop, 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 right? So that is being able to maintain my posture. Now, if I use wedges here, my arm connected to your hip, my knees are lightly pinched here and then here, okay? And then I roll my hips up underneath, okay, with a pelvic tuck, right? That's like a lot of people, it's called, like, technically the pelvic girdle. But when I tilt it, when I roll it up underneath, boom, it opens your guard, okay? So when I do that, I want to come down, windshield wiper pass. This is an anchor point where I have my knee here, my feet are prayer feet in the back, and I control this hip and this bicep. And my head is down with like a rounded spine, okay? Try and move. Yeah, see, when you move, I move. See if you can do a big hip escape this way. See, I just went with you. And then you're giving me the back as well, okay? So that's connection. So as I pass, I have to maintain this connection at this anchor point here on your hip. Okay, from here, I'm going to pass your legs, and what I want is to get your knees facing this way a little bit before I come up to the side mount. Okay, so once I'm here, I go head arm, your knees are away, and then I can transition to controlling the upper body. Okay, now one of the prerequisites for sliding my knee over to side mount is this arm has to be out, and it is right now. Okay, put it back in, please. In class 10, we talked about 2 ways to get that arm out, okay? One was going here. Now I got that arm out. Okay, try and pull it into your hip. You can't, okay? So, here. Now, another thing. See how I'm just like my chest is up here? I don't want that. I want to be down into controlling this shoulder, like this quadrant here. All right, I want to monitor this, okay? Versus like having my head up and nothing on here, right? If I do that, you just put your cross face. No good for me, okay? So here. Nice. So now what I want to do is I want to start sliding my knee across slowly. And then I'm doing this. So this is the base in case you try and roll me here. Okay, and I can't rush this, right? What I want is when I slide over here to go to the very end and then boom, switch there. Okay, so when I have here, and you just kind of get this in tight, when I have that arm under your head, I want you to with your feet, trap my arm under your head. Yes, kind of tuck your chin when you do this. But bridge back. Yes, there you go. That's your arm now. Okay, go back. So good. So we know the bridge and roll. If this arm can't base, that's the direction you're going. Okay. So what I want you to do is when you do this, kind of turn and get the chin past that, like in the crook of that elbow, and then turn your knees that way and bridge. Beautiful. Okay, nice. So that's flutter 1. Let's reposition a little bit here. Okay, get a good posture and guard. I'm gonna see if I can pull you down. Yeah, mannequin hand. Yeah, good. Nice. This is good. You feel comfortable?
I think so.
You need to remember, good base on mobile base. This is the base, right? So you need to be able to do this a little bit, roll your hips forward and backward, and then monitor. Okay? So, go ahead and break, or posture break. Bring your hips forward, boom, nice. Now go to pass the guard. Nice. Getting this anchor point. Feet are together in the back. Nice. Okay. Now, what you're going to do from here is go ahead and pass your knee Good, get to the side position, move the knee to my hip, and move my knees out of the way. Yes. Now, get an underhook with your right arm. Slide up to the upper body. Boom. Now bring your knees up. Boom. See, and you got my arm, but it's kind of loose, so let's say I pulled it back in. Okay? So when that happens, switch your hips. Boom. Now switch them again. Go back to your knees. Now you've got me. There you go, head on. Little shoulder connection here. Head is controlling this shoulder. Right, good. Okay. So, from here, what you do is start sliding that knee across. Just sliding it across. Good, good, good. And then base out with that hand a little bit. Yes. Yes. Okay, good. So now, what I've got to do is trap the foot. I'm bridging into this. I've got my chin turned into the crook of his elbow. He's not going to be able to pull this out and stop. Okay, let's turn this way. So, just naturally with where my hand's at, I'm going to use that a little bit here. Go ahead and let me put this back inside. Your hand may be here. Micah's hand was here. If that's the case, I'm going to just wedge with my elbow a little bit. If here's the case, I'm going to wedge with my bicep on his head a little bit. Let me put my arm back inside. Sometimes you're inside and it's more on the hip. So hip, body, underarm. Let me pull it back up. Or here. It's just going to depend on how they passed and how, if you were relaxed your arms or what you were doing. Okay, so this happened naturally for us, right? So you had the underhook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bridge and get my base. Boom. Move yourself back. Posture break. Here. Anchor point. Find connection. Right? Now, I don't want to come up to the upper body too soon. I want to pass, get his knees facing the other way. Now I come up to the upper body here. And I got good arm control. I don't even have to dig out the arm. Okay? So here, I'm going to start, don't get in a hurry. Start sliding across. Boom. Right? Now here, boom. Now look, you could get your elbow back in. My shoulders are old and I wasn't thinking about doing that. Connect with your elbow to my body. Drive, connect. Not just lift. Push with this foot to feel your elbow in my ribs when you do that. Yes. Okay, nice. Now go back. Now connect the head to my arm and then start bridging and driving in here. Whoa. Ah, nice. That's flow drill 1. Good. Next class, we're going to do another flow drill, and it's going to be based off of these moves. I'm in your guard. Here. Okay? So, same sort of idea. Here, I've got my mannequin hand, right? I've got this, and a little pinch with my knees. I'm not just sitting all my weight on my heels. I need to come forward with that, okay? So, guys, when we do this, and we start here, okay? And we forgot to put our feet together in the back. Right? Remember I told you this might happen. Yeah, see, and you grabbed it. So when that happens, I go to the knee slap pass. Okay? And this is just doing the posture break, how I will use this pass. Turn. Here. Okay, so this knee is cut through. So what happened is we were here. And then I left my foot, so he caught it. Try it again. All right, he caught that foot. So what I've got to do is switch to this leg going through. And that's what we call the knee slide. Okay? So anytime I'm knee sliding, and Micah takes his hands and puts them right here and he frames. Right? Turn again. This seems like a fantastic idea. Right? Like, yeah, get that elbow in a strong spot and right? Can't get you. It's strong. And so there's we were joking in Las Vegas, my friend Eric, he's taught seminars here over the year. I don't know if you've met him, but he's a great dude. Eric Ingram in Memphis. And he's talking about one of his black belts, like he'll put a frame up like this and the guy's like breaks through it, just like growling at him. He's like, oh, you want to frame me? But we don't want to do that. It's funny. We'll go this way. Remember that headlock analogy a second ago? Frame. Well, I don't do that. We'll go this way. here, I'm in cross side mount, in which case I can have like this leg up, and then I can bring this leg up, or I can keep it back, okay? So that's kind of some different versions of side mounts. I might have one leg back, I might have a knee up, right? We've seen some of those things so far, right? But that's just a little nuance, like head arm side mount, cross side mount, okay? So my elbow, both of them are across his body on the far side. This is a really good way to hold side mount because I can attack with these hands, okay? So that's what we're looking for. Get back in your guard, please. So I'm here, break, he traps my foot, okay? That's not good for me, so I want to start going to the knee slide pass. He frames, lean forward, hold on to my foot with both knees. If that happens, look how it's loose, boom, here. And then his elbows are all up under his, or up over his head, so his shoulders are weak. And I put this elbow on the far side, here, boom. And then, here, my hands are free to attack, right? Here's the thing. If the submission is how, I take the kill in Jiu-Jitsu, and I need to use my hands to do that, and my hands are busy holding you down, how can I use them to submit you? You can't. It's a rhetorical question, right? But that's just a very small little nuance here, okay, that we need to focus on. We need to keep our hands free and available as much of the time as we possibly can. That's why my preference is not the head arm side mount. People have to know about it because so many people do it. It's the cross side with the elbow over because I have more submission options. That's the black belt the other day. I said, hey, how many submissions do you know from head arm side mount? And he couldn't give me an answer. Whatever, okay? Now, you try this real quick. Just the same break we did last class, posture break. Okay, and go ahead and get break. Okay. Hips under, boom, nice. Yeah, added those hips, boom, boo open, right? Go ahead and slide past, oh, caught your foot. Right, now, yes, okay, go into the knee slide configuration. I don't have your foot caught on. So I'm gonna be here. Lean forward. Oh, yes. And then just get that weight distribution in one. Look how controlled this arm is, Micah. I can't do anything. You don't have to do the round spine and the curved spine because my arms are so taken out of the equation. Okay, so if you wanted to step over or slide over either one, it's going to be so hard for me to counter that. Right? Good. So this is the knee slide pass. I do want to show that one other way. Knee and center, same pass, right? But we mentioned that last class that you'll be doing this first guard pass that we teach everybody. And you'll go and you'll maybe try it out against somebody like yourself, like a blue belt. And you're like, oh, you're passing my guard, I'm about to see if your foot's there to trap it, right? And then you hang them up in half guard. Well, okay, so the answer to that is do the knee slide. If you ever get caught on a windshield wiper, switch to a knee slide, okay? Now, let's look at the knee slide as a standalone. The knee slide as a standalone is different in one way for how we teach it in here. And it's that I have one knee up in the center. So I widen here. I'm gonna have the same hand configuration. I widen, and then I need to bring my knee to the center. And as I do that, I've gotta not lean forward. I'm kind of leaning to this back corner, or a little to the side, not to the extreme back corner, right? I'm gonna raise up as I bring my knee in the center, and then come down and engage my lats. I'm kind of rounding my spine. People call it cat back a lot, right? However you want to think about it. And then look, I'm here. So instead of putting the other knee up and going windshield wiper first, and then, oh, I got caught, and now I go knee slide. We're doing knee slide as a direct, that's our first option, right? So I'm gonna slide through here. He frames. I lean forward. Boom. And I'm inside. So this is what we call the knee in the center guard break. So now, these last two classes, we know two guard breaks. We know the posture break, and we know the knee in center. Those are both kneeling breaks, and the guard passes we're doing are what we call low guard passes. In some later classes, we'll see standing breaks and standing guard passes, right? So, here, widen out, bring your knee in the center. I kind of come up a little bit, but when people come up, they do this, and you can just pull me down. Just break my posture, okay? So here, widen out, come up, knee in the center, it broke, okay? Combat base, right? Try and close your guard back around me. Try and put a De La Hiva hook in. You can't. De La Hiva is where you use your foot on the outside of this leg. We talked about it earlier on the ankle lock. Okay, so here, this is my angle. Through the legs. The windshield wiper pass, it goes through the legs, the knee slide, and then obviously using those in combo, but here, whoa. Now don't be like that guy, Steve. I mean, even though that is a cool story. That's archaic. Lean forward. Stop me now. Now God, right? And then here. Boom. So that's the knee in the center. Okay, so let's see that knee in the center guard break. Get your hands in that same place. Good. Widen this knee out a little bit more. There you go. That gives you the ability to start leaning that way. Just your whole kind of torso, just lightly. Just a little bit more weight into this. See, I can't sit up and sweep you that way. Now start bringing this knee in the center. As you come up. Oh, went a little too far forward. But I gotta check you on that, right? Like I want this to happen to you for real. You gotta not cross this line with your nose, okay? So lean that way a little bit, and as you come up, keep leaning that way. But I'm worried about that now. Let me do one more to you. Head facing the camera. Feel my arms. They're wedged in your hips, mannequin head, okay? So there, don't lean so much that you can't lean a little bit more later. Like look, here's center. Think about, I'm just going over my hip. My head's over my hip right now. Okay, here. Now, I'm gonna lean my head outside of my leg as I come up. Can you pull me forward? All right. And then 2, if I give you the space, you'll come under this. So I need to be here and boom. Here. 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 And you block. Here. Okay, back in my guard. Okay, good. Widen out. Lean over your hip. A little less lean. Nice. Now, keep that in. Wedge. Yes, inside position. Now bring this to the center. Well, you go up a little bit, but keep this engaged as much as you can, because you don't want that. Boom, you got it. Good. Knee in center. Ah, nice. Let me get my arms. Nice. One more time in the guards. Just really try and keep your arms wedged as much as you can. Okay? Okay. Good. Okay? Widen out. Go knee in center this way. Nice. Good modification. Nice. Good. Okay. And look, this is reminding you, I'm not making it easy for you. I'm like, hey, fix that. I'm trying to pull you forward. No, don't pass my guard. Even though I'm telling you, I'm like, hey, don't pull my guard and pass it.
On the frame, is it just like a slide forward, or are you kind of rotating your shoulders into it?
I do rotate at the end. Great question. Go this way. So when you're here, It's people's number one to just be like, I'm gonna go down. Oh, you wanna push me? I'm gonna push back harder. I go forward. And then look, now I twist. Boom. And look how I got that arm. Okay, so it's both. You lean forward and then twist, like a sequence. Okay? Yeah, good question. Anything else?
That's all I got.